Hey YouTube and Instagram family. So today we got a throwback. This was written in 2002, published in 2003. And this is called You're in My Secret. And it's about this girl who is she's essentially a tomboy, and she's very, very beautiful and eloquent in her appearance, but then she's rough and she tumble like a boy. And so then there's this guy, and he's a cute guy, but he's he's very shy, he's clumsy, he's very timid, and so he's basically her polar opposite. So she ends up sick. The girl ends up sick one day and couldn't make it to school. And so nobody wanted to go to her house because, she's so weird. She's so, she has like a couple of friends, but like mostly everybody, especially the boys, are scared of her. So he agrees to go to her house because he has a crush on her. If I forgot to say that, he has a crazy crush on her. So he goes to her house to give her her homework. And then he sees that her grandfather has her tied up to a machine because he's a scientist. And then he tells her that he's going to use an experiment to see if he can make a person smaller, like shrink, like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. So, and I know this sounds so crazy, but it gets good. So then the boy comes in and she was like, "What are you doing here?" And he was like, "You know what? Stay. You can be in this. You can do this for me." And she, because she's kind of a bully to him. And so the grandfather says, and she says, "Yeah." She tells her grandfather, "You're going to need an assistant. So if you mess me around and have me in the machine and something happens, you want to have an assistant." He said, "That's a good idea." So he pushes the boy. The boy ends up going over there to her to get her off the machine because he just wanted to get her off the machine, and then the machine just went off and they end up switching bodies. So you have this tomboy girl who ends up switching bodies with this timid, shy boy. And so you get to see that how their lives kind of change when they have this like Freaky Friday kind of situation. And so the grandpa was like, "I don't think I can do this again because it broke. But it was my intention to make a machine to people can switch bodies, but that wasn't. He's just this goofy scientist that's always screwing up." So he said, "Well, I'm off to Hawaii, so y'all gonna have to stay like this for, a couple of days." And so they go through school, they go through all these experiences in these new bodies and with their personalities. And so it touches on some very interesting things. When she gets in his body, it touches on how, especially with guys, how a lot of things are assumed about guys and their personalities, and how it's assumed that certain things shouldn't matter to them because they're a guy. And it touches on a lot of things. This was way ahead of his time, as far as, because I think in this generation they talk about these things more. But this, because at first, when I first got this, I thought it was going to be like Ultimate. And Ultimate is where you have a guy who's really good at guy stuff, but he secretly loves doing cooking and sewing, and that's what he really loves to do. And he meets a girl that loves to do guy stuff, and she's really not good at the girl stuff. So, but they end up just being in love and developing a relationship over time and helping each other with the opposite. So with this, though, you get it where this girl gets this new body, and how it's just she's very inconsiderate once she gets into his body. And it just showed me that regardless of gender, character you can't tell who a person is by their gender. You can't say, oh, men are like this, women are like this, because character, regardless of any other attribute you have as a human, whatever category, your character is the real story about who you are, how you are as a person. And so, I've never had well, she's a girl character who ends up in the boy's body, but her attitude, oh, she is a jerk. Oh, she is such an asshole. I'm so sorry. But the series is good. It touches on a lot of things and it is just funny as well. And it tells a story in a way that you enjoy it. Like, you know how you have those characters that you don't like, you love to hate. That's how I feel about her. It's not like annoying. It's just like, oh my God, how can she be like this? So it's a great series. I know I'm going to be on a hunt trying to find like the other volumes because this is like an old school series, but I have to have it. I just read it. It's a 5-star, no doubt. It's definitely ahead of its time and it's just awesome. So, so that's my review. Your and My Secret. So thank you so much for tuning in and peace.